One day I woke up and my whole body was aching. And I tried to figure out what, because I hadn't exercised, I hadn't done anything strenuous. And I realized, well, I had spinach every day. And I checked myself, my muscle test myself, and realized it's the oxalates in spinach.
Celeste, I'm exhausted today.
What happened?
I think I shoveled 85 feet of snow.
Oh,
We had our blizzard of 2026, and my body feels like I went through, I don't know, I feel like I went like 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. I'm achy everywhere. But I know why. I know why I have the pain. I know why my shoulders ache and my arms are tired. But let me ask you a question. I'm sure you've had that, but did you ever have something like where you don't understand where the pain's coming from? Like, you didn't fall down the stairs, you didn't shovel snow, you weren't in a car accident. It's just there's this manifestation of pain in your body. You ever have that?
Oh, yes. It'll manifest itself in my lower back or a shoulder or my knee. And it doesn't seem to correlate really with anything. And it's very frustrating because I feel like I do take care of myself, but at the same time, it seems to come out of the blue.
Well, let me
I,
tell you, today's guest I've spoken to several times, and I know she went from very debilitating pain and uncovered triggers that changed everything for her. She shares with me, she's shared some simple ways people can start finding out clues and other ways that she can help them get to a place where they can understand what's going on with their bodies.
So let's welcome to the room Dr. Ynge.
Hi, Dr. Ynge, welcome to the Right Room.
thank you. It feels very right.
Oh, good, good. Well, this is a place where we invite business owners and leaders to walk in with questions and leave with some clarity on a lot of different topics. I'm Jane Parmel.
And my name is Celeste DeCamps. And
And
today you are in the right room for an amazing piece on our health and wellness. And Dr. Ynge, I know that you have a wealth of information to give us, but if you don't mind, give us a little bit of your background and what you found in your life and in your research that brought you here today.
Well, it's a long story. I don't know if you know how old I am.
No.
I'm 87 years old. I don't care if because I am proud at the age I have reached.
Amazing.
I graduated a long time ago as a chemical engineer. That I never got a job as an engineer because at that time they said no, we don't hire women engineers, and that was in Sweden. Imagine. So, and after that, I got married, had kids, lived apart in Bangladesh for 2.5 years, and then moved to Venezuela, where my kids grew up, country that I loved and miss. And there I was a potter and an artist. And then I came here to the US, and long story short, I was going to help a friend to paint murals, but I tripped and broke my wrist in 5 places. And I had these big screws hanging after my arm. So I knew no more painting, at least not for a few months. So I signed up for acupuncture school and really never looked back. When I started acupuncture, to practice, I realized that a few patients, everybody felt great after acupuncture because I believe acupuncture is the most relaxing thing you can ever do. And some people came back with the same thing. For example, say a shoulder pain. And it was good, but it didn't last. So I went on a quest to find out why, and found that allergies have a lot to do. So starting with foods, if you look at, for example, where the meridians, the Chinese meridians go over the arm and the shoulder, it is gallbladder, small intestine, large intestine. It's all digestive things. So myself, for example, you were saying you didn't know what hit you, and that was quite recent. I bought a big bag of a big box of spinach. I thought I would have people over, so I ate it myself. During a week, I had spinach every day. One day I woke up and my whole body was aching. And I tried to figure out what, because I hadn't exercised, I hadn't done anything strenuous. And I realized, well, I had spinach every day. And I checked myself, my muscle test myself, and realized it's the oxalates in spinach.
Wow. That's
so
amazing.
I treated myself for oxalates, the pain went away. But it's something that we don't think about.
So
You know?
Ynge, let me ask you a question. So, as we're listening to you, I'm sitting there saying to myself, if you eat a balanced diet, sometimes you would think that that would make it everything okay, but just like you said, a little bit of overload on one thing and it made you
Yeah.
ill or in pain. Are those patterns that really occur with a lot of people? Maybe not
Yes.
crazy
Yes. A lot.
sensitivity.
Yeah. A lot of people come and they say, "Oh, I eat everything so clean, and I eat everything a perfect diet." Well, if you have an allergy to something, it's not perfect for you. And it's
Yeah,
hard to
course,
realize what it is. I know it's very popular, for example, to go to a juice bar and you get kale and you get spinach and you get, all these things that are loaded
All the
with
healthy things.
oxalates.
right.
And people don't understand why they don't feel good, because a lot of people are allergic to it or sensitive or whatever you want to call it. But, you can only fill the barrel to a certain points, and then it starts to run over. So maybe spinach is not good for you.
Right. But I mean, and that I guess is everybody's now wondering, okay, how do I find out?
Well, I think the easiest way, if you, for example, your digestion is not the best, you get bloated. And first of all, did you have antibiotics, which most people have? So it might be that they have to detox, they have to start taking enzymes and probiotics and prebiotics and all these things. But the best thing is to have a food diary.
Write everything down.
So in the morning, you write down, how did you sleep? What did you wake up and at what time? And then you go over the day, write down everything you put in your mouth, everything, even if it's a chewing gum. And in the evening, you write down how you feel. If you had a reaction from something, if you got a headache or if your pulse started to go faster, or in general, did you get sleepy? Did you get sleepy in the afternoon, for example? And how do you feel in the evening? So if you do that, you can get, for example, there is a difference between sensitivities and allergies. Allergies happen immediately, and sensitivities can take up to 72 hours to react. So,
Right. Well, then how do you tell the difference?
So if you write a food diary every day, you can see, okay, I had this on Thursday and I had the same thing, and then you can count the days and figure out what it is you react to.
So if you notice when we say the right room, the way we do these interviews and we talk about your story, of course, you gave us a little bit of a background there. We seem to have hit on a strategy now that you can literally start to draw your own map of what you've taken in and how you react to it and how you feel. Just like you said, what again, what Celeste just said, how can you tell the difference when, you just said allergies are almost immediate and sensitivities can take up to 72 hours. What if you're doing all of that? You're doing the mapping of it, you're writing everything down. How do you know how do you know it was backtracking to
Well,
72,
you will
48
see,
hours?
because you will see a pattern.
Okay, so you're talking about over 2 weeks, 3 weeks, four
Yeah, at
weeks,
least maybe a month,
maybe a month.
and
Okay.
especially with the sensitivities. And they are also a little harder to clear, but you can do the treatments. Well, now I'm jumping ahead of myself, but
So tracking the patterns, like you said, almost for over a month would actually let you see the patterns in more clarity.
yeah, and also for kids, you can see how they react.
Right.
We know when they have sugar, they climb off the walls.
Of course.
Any child. So,
Right.
so
I
that,
still do.
excuse me?
I still do. I still climb the walls. Too much chocolate. Yeah, that'll do it to me. But that's
So,
interesting. So, okay, so now you've gotten to the point where you have at least hopefully an idea of maybe what you're allergic to and what your sensitivities are. What's the next step? Do you avoid those foods completely?
Well, you can do that, but some people, they react to everything. They get to a certain point and they just get worse and worse. For example, some people, a lot of people are allergic to wheat. Sometimes it's not just the gluten, even though gluten is the one that has a protein in it that turns into, I think it's called somnolin, but it makes holes in the intestinal lining, which makes food that are on the way down to be digested to leak out into the bloodstream. And that's one thing how allergies are created. So one thing is to avoid wheat, and that is also one thing that creates a lot of aches and pains, which we don't think about it, and it creates meltdowns and anger in kids on the spectrum, whether they ADHD or autism, or they react. And so these kids, they have reactions that doesn't have to do with behavior. It has to do with an allergic reaction. So it's not even their fault, even though it can be very hard not to react to these kids because they get so angry. I mean, it is contagious. Somebody is angry and the other person gets angry too.
You specifically said children? Is that true of adults as well? I mean, could the food sensitivities or
I
allergies?
think so. Yes. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier with kids because the parents bring them in and they tell the story.
Right.
But I know often with patients I've had that, for example, the wife says, "Oh yeah, he's much calmer now."
Okay. Well, I
Amazing.
know that you could take tests through a doctor, allergy tests, but it
Mhm.
sounds to me like what you're talking about seems to go a little bit further than that.
Yeah, because I have a solution.
Oh, okay. There we
Because
go.
There
you
we
go
go.
to
So
yeah,
we're
you go and you get these allergies tested, and then what?
Right.
Then they say, okay, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can't eat that, and they say, what can I eat? There is nothing left to eat. I've had clients that I can only eat red meat. It just happened.
That's
Wow.
it. I would love to say that I can only eat lobster and caviar. That's the problem. That's not a good thing.
No, it's not. It's not a good thing. So, and it gets worse if they don't treat it. It gets worse. So, of course, diet. Of course, first of all, the allergies come from diet. So that is the root of everything. And diet and antibiotics. I mean, take care of your digestive system is number one. As Hippocrates said over 2,500 years ago, every illness comes from the gut.
See, and nobody listens to it. Why is that? That's amazing. If it was
Yes,
so long ago.
and here in this country, I mean, with the diet, with the fast food, the processed food, everybody, I think there are 90% of people are nowadays either diabetic or pre-diabetic. As many are overweight and obese and or obese. Kids have type 2 diabetes when they are 3 years old sometimes. Something absolutely ridiculous. And it all depends on what they feed them.
Right. But I do know you do have a solution, because I am sure
Yes.
when somebody came to you and said all they could do is eat red meat, what was your answer? How were you able to help?
So I have created I started to treat allergies 30 years ago and went through a certification with a company. And it worked, but they had to go to a practitioner. It took like 15 treatments before they really could look into what was really the culprit. And people often didn't continue. They say, oh, for a child, well, she's okay now, but she could get so much better. Or they had more than one child and they gave up. Too much time, too much money. And I said to myself, I have to create something that people can do on themselves for the whole family, not just one thing. So I created something that I call the Allergy Kit. There's somebody I'm working with together. She says I should call it the Allergy Kit system, which is true. So this here is just a basic kit. You see, there are only a few vials.
Okay.
So you don't need to test for these because everybody is allergic or sensitive to the same basic things that I have in the kit. These are much more than the 15 first treatments. And you treat with a laser. So it's totally non-invasive. You never open the vials. These vials, you never open them. You don't store them with electronics like a telephone charger or something like that, because that can affect but they are homeopathically imprinted. It's water and imprinted with the same frequencies that are in your allergies. Homeopathy means cure, like cures like. So by having these energies, the same that you have, and you put them on, you put them on your belly button, and then you do a laser over the belly button, over the head, and over the ears, and you do that in 7 rounds. And that evens out these frequencies, so it becomes non-reactive. So you don't react to this thing after that. And sometimes it takes more than one treatment, but often it doesn't. Sometimes, for example, in vial number 1, I have frequencies for egg, chicken, milk, dairy, calcium, vitamin C. The reason, because some people, they say, oh, I'm vegan, I don't eat meat. But we came from an egg, even if we're not chickens, but we came from an egg. And when we are born, we get milk. And when we start to eat, we get vitamin C. And there is also parasites in there, because we are warm-blooded animals. We all have parasites, and we are often sensitive to, it sounds very yucky, but we are sensitive to their poop and their dead bodies.
So all things that we have to pay attention to, sure.
Yeah. So that's the first treatment. And sometimes, for example, I had a girl, her mother didn't want to do the treatment on herself, so she came to my clinic. She was 3 years old. She had her 4th birthday during the time I treated her. She was full of eczema from her scalp down to her toes. Yucky, itchy, wheezy, what do you call that? Leaking eczema. And I treated her twice for the vial number 1. She was strong when I muscle tested, when she left, weak when she came back. So the third time I broke it down to egg yolk, egg white, chicken. I broke down the whatever is in the vial number 1, the first vial. She was strong on everything but chicken. So I treated her for chicken, asked the mother not to give her any chicken for a couple of weeks so she could detox. When she came back, she did not have one spot on her. So it can be like a miracle.
It sounds like it. Well, listen, we have gotten the strategy. We know some of the things to look for now that you've mentioned, and we would love to know. We have a part of our show. We call it room service, and what that is something that somebody can do, that someone that's listening can do in the next 48 hours. A simple step that they can take in the next 48 hours to start this ball rolling.
I think even if it's only for 48 hours, write down everything, especially people, because there are some people they react to everything.
Right.
They never feel good. So when they go through the kit, for example, they realize that, okay, I feel much better now. And they become more aware of when they have something, if it's a smell or if it's something they eat or touch, and they are aware that they're feeling worse.
So, Dr. Ynge, when you say write it down, then do you not only what you're taking in, but when you say about how you feel, the 5 senses, how it makes your vision, your hearing, your all of the 5 senses, plus how you slept, all of those actions.
Yes, it's all related. It's all related.
All related. Cool.
Yeah, and also, I mean, one thing they can do, because if you fast, you don't take anything in, and you kind of get on a clean slate. Fast for a couple, 2 or 3 days, and then start to eat, and then you can also see. But a lot of people do not want to fast. It's hard. I mean, you get hungry, and it's easy to give in. No, I'm only have this.
That's it. You know, it's
they would have to introduce foods slowly even if they fast for a day.
Oh yeah, because otherwise they get sick.
So do you have a program then for people to be able to understand what that process would be? If our audience is interested in understanding more about this allergy kit system and what it would mean to reset and be proactive on your diet so that you are eating the right foods, and you're able to find and optimize your health that much more, where do you suggest that they start?
Well, sometimes it depends a little on each person. It's good to start with, I prefer homeopathic cleansers. I don't really recommend these harsh detox programs that people have, because a lot of people are not strong enough to do it, and they just get sicker. So a program with homeopathics, they are much easier on the body. And then, of course, diet. I mean, diet. It's I would say a food program. I don't like diet. It has dye in it, and we don't.
Better word. Better word. You're right. Better.
And yes, I work with people with that too.
Cool.
And I also have a colleague that I work together with who specializes deeper into. She also does the blood tests and stuff. I don't do that. It takes too much time.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
But yes, we have programs for how to become better, but only by doing the allergy kit you can feel so much better.
very good.
And to go to the doctor and you see your results and you say, oh, I'm allergic to this and I'm allergic to that, then that, then that, then what can I do?
Right.
I can't stop breathing. I can't stop eating.
That's so true. So true. All right. Well, listen, not to change gears tremendously, but this is the part of the interview that we ask you, what does it mean to be here, Celeste?
Yes, what does it mean to you to be in the right room?
Well,
it is very comfortable, first of all.
That's good.
I like the energy in the room.
Cool.
You are very easy to talk to.
Thank you.
So no, I feel very welcomed, and yeah, I can stay here.
I think what we're talking about more is being in the right room in terms of being able to connect with people and being able to discuss with about what they do and about what you do. So if you're in the right room and you are talking to people and you're networking, what's the one thing that you want to be the takeaway that everybody that you're meeting walks away with an impact of what you're trying to get across?
Well, that there is hope, first of all. There is a solution, and your body is not damaged. It's a little bit out of whack, but it's nothing wrong with your body. I mean,
Everything can be fixed.
It can be fixed, and maybe it just needs a little more love.
That's excellent.
And tender, quick care.
More love and more tender care. That's right. Well, listen, Dr. Ynge, this has been a really eye-opening experience, and I know that I have spoken to you. It's people, it's children, it's even pets. Some
Yes.
you will even do this for pets. So those things are very important. And one of the biggest things that I think is important is how can people reach you? Where can people find you and learn more about the work that you do and the allergy kit?
Well, you can always reach me through the allergykit.com. Very easy. Easy to remember, but remember to put the first, the allergykit.com.
Well, we're going to put everything. Yeah. We're going to put everything in our notes so that we have it for you and our listeners.
That is the easiest way to get in contact with me. There is a button you can make an appointment.
Perfect.
And, so I have free consultations.
No, that's excellent. And for everybody who would like to be proactive in your healthcare, trying to understand where those mysterious aches and pains come from, it's probably about time we all addressed our diet. So I would like to thank you. I'm Celeste DeCamps.
And I'm Jane Parmel.
And thank you for joining us in the right room. And we hope to see you again, Dr. Ynge, very soon.
Thank you very much. I would love to come back.
That's great. Thank you.